on the News Channel 5 network. This is MorningLine with Nick Beres.
Good morning, everyone. Nick Beres here. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine on this Monday. Good show on tap for you the day after the Super Bowl. Did you pay attention? Did you watch? Do you not care at all? I've heard from everyone one way or the other. Some people don't watch the game. They just watch the commercials. I don't know. I'm kind of over the hype. But it was a good game. Good for Kansas City. Anyway, I think there was a puppy bowl going on also where you could go and adopt dogs, tying in with this whole Super Bowl motif, which was a good thing to go adopt dogs and to talk about dogs, not just dogs, but cats. Perhaps an occasional bird, maybe a potbelly pig in a pinch. Is veterinarian extraordinaire Allison Fields.
Good morning.
Hello, Allison.
Hello.
I mean, I think there was some kind of puppy bowl kind of adoption thing that maybe went with.
Let's talk about the best commercial of all.
Okay, now I didn't see them all.
What?
I mean, I didn't see them all.
Okay, there were like the top four, and pretty much everybody's going to probably agree with it, but the top one for me.
Probably missed it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, WeatherTech, which is a company that makes like the liners for your car, for your floorboards and stuff,
okay.
the laser cut, whatever. So the founder of WeatherTech has a golden retriever who developed a tumor on his heart, which is usually deadly. And they live in Wisconsin, apparently, and they went, or close to Wisconsin. They went to the veterinary school in Wisconsin, and they saved Scout's life. And so he bought a commercial on the Super Bowl, which was worth, I don't know, $7 million, something like that, and told Scout's story. And I mean,
I think I saw.
Granted, it was a commercial for WeatherTech, but it was also a commercial for the University of Wisconsin Veterinary School, and asked that everybody donate, and 100% of the donations would go to the vet school.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Staggering.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I think that's pretty neat. All right, so that was your favorite.
That was number
commercial?
one. But then there were three other ones that I thought were really funny. One was Bill Murray and Groundhog Day.
I was going to say that one I did see, and I thought that was a kick.
That was a kick.
They must have paid him up. Bill Murray doesn't do that. You know anything about Bill Murray? He's a quirky guy, incredibly talented, does what he wants.
They had people in these ads last night that I've never seen in an ad. Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
That was hysterical with Rocket Mortgage.
That was funny where he's Mr. Skinny. I did see that one.
And then there was one with Molly Ringwald in it.
I didn't see that.
She was like a host on QVC selling something. I can't remember what the commercial was for, but Molly Ringwald was in it. And then what is it? Is it, oh gosh, what's his name? The older guy with the beard, Sam.
Oh yeah, Elliot. No, Sam. Not Sam.
No,
Shepard.
is it?
No, well, he was in Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. What is that? It was Sam. Yeah. Thank you, Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam Elliott, where he was.
Did you see that with the gunslinger and his mustaches?
Yeah.
So I thought those for
Sam
me
Elliott,
were like the top ones.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Whatever, people tune in just for that. There were adoptions going on and things like this as well, tying in. Super Bowl has such a big hype. If you can find a link maybe to get people's attention to something else, it works.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
I'm not real big on the NFL right now because of the whole Michael Vick thing, but
that's right. With did he end up? Was he one of the captains for the Pro Bowl? Was that what that was?
Yeah.
And still the whole issue with him and the dogs and how that went out.
We're going to reward a man who acted like that.
Well, it just seems like there could have been a better choice, probably.
I'm sure we're many better choices.
To his credit, at least since, not that you're going to reward him, but he's done what he can now to be out there, and he should, and that's the right thing.
That is great. Be a good person, but you don't need to get rewarded for being a normal, good person.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all normal, good people.
Kind of low. If you're just a good person, you get.
We don't get awards for participation in life.
Be a good person for the sake of it.
Woohoo, Nick! We're giving you an award because you've been a human being.
Right, exactly.
No.
Well, I'm glad you came on this morning. We're going to take phone calls, 737-7587. One story I posted on my Facebook page, Nick Beres NC5, over the weekend. It came from the Manchester Times. And it's kind of gone viral since because people are so furious. There was an animal found there, a dog, running in circles, had been shot. And I only used a portion of the pictures, but someone shot it in the face with a shotgun with pellets. They think, some of them gotten to the brain, but the dog was able to continue running. They had to rescue the dog. They named him Max, so he didn't die nameless, but he was so far injured that they had to humanely euthanize him. And now, the reward money is up to, I think, $2,700 for information that leads to the poor excuse for a human being that did something like this. The sad fact is that if and when they do catch this deplorable individual, the laws that we have like this won't do a lot. So what I want to do is be there with a camera, sticking it in his face, and his picture, and I say him because it's probably a guy. I'm just sorry. I'm going to take a shot here and say it's probably a guy because that's the thing guys often do. And his face will be everywhere, so everyone will know who he is. That's the role I can play on this. There he is. Smile for the camera, chum. And we're going to put it everywhere so you know what he did to the dog.
I am not condoning that type of behavior, but just for the big picture, what if that dog was aggressive and he was attacking somebody and it ran off before?
I'm saying if there's a conviction.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying you should ever shoot a dog for that, but what if it was attacking a small child and then it ran off? And so I'm just saying that there are always two sides to the story, and let's get the whole story before we start.
I'm not advocating convicting someone until they are, but I will tell you right now that's not the case here. And so, I hope they catch this scumbag, and I hope
half full, glass half empty.
Now there are cases. There was another case
Optimist,
well, I would like to think that, especially you leave it and the dog's running in circles in a shotgun, and you do nothing, you just leave the dog there. I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
But again, what if it didn't happen there? What if the dog ran? I don't know. I'm just saying. I think it's horrible that happened, and you should never shoot a dog. That being said,
you do have to get the whole story, and I'm not saying that, but once you get the whole story and convicted. Face, and he gets a slap on the wrist under the current laws. Now, I'll put his face everywhere so everyone knows who he is and he can live with that scarlet letter. That's what I would do, and I would enjoy doing it.
What scarlet letter would it be?
I don't know. I'll just choose one.
We need a good one.
I'll think of one. Whatever. We haven't gotten there yet because no one's caught him yet.
It's true.
And so hopefully we'll continue to follow that story. I've got time to come up with that. So anything interesting going on right now that we should touch bases on this time of year? We're getting into February, making our way into the warmer climate.
Well, the groundhog saw his shadow. Did not.
So
which means it's going to be an early spring. So what does an early spring mean in veterinary world?
Well, does it mean the bugs will come out sooner?
Yeah, means the bugs will come out sooner.
Yeah.
So if normally, you're thinking about putting your flea and tick control on your pets end of March, beginning of April, we might need to think about it more the beginning of March this year, just to make sure.
Get it going with flea and tick control. Have you seen animals in with ticks? Well, please, you see that anyway because you've said you can get it in the wintertime with the warm weather inside.
I've seen 3 cases in January of flea outbreaks in the home on the animal.
Really?
Because we quit using our flea and tick control in October, and we had flea eggs in the house, and now
that's a drag when that happens.
Horrible.
It's no fun.
And we don't realize, you and I remember, but we lived with that. Because we didn't have these amazing flea and tick controls.
Or growing up,
I can remember once a week you dipped the dog.
Yep, and then we had to sometimes, when it got so bad, have
that powder.
the flea bomb for the house. You had to leave the house for the day.
Yeah.
And God knows what those chemicals did to you anyway.
Correct.
You know.
And I always worried about my fish, and you had to cover up the fish. Anyway, it was. We spent so much time and money and energy. Of course, that's why you had children back then to do all of these things. Because we ended up doing all of it. But now it's so stinking easy to prevent them.
Great flea control out there now.
So I use it year round in my dog. I don't want to play that game. I've done it in my life, and I don't want to do it again.
I was going to ask you, do you see, the other day I was at either Lowe's or Home Depot, one of them that allows you to bring the animals in, and I just love that. It's really cool. And they're walking around, and this one guy, you could tell, it looked at first like a German Shepherd, but the way the paws were situated and the way it looked at you, you could tell it was either a wolf hybrid or it was a wolf, is what the guy said. We've talked about this before. And I even thought, and he seemed very timid. He was not ferocious. It was a pretty animal.
Or
but he's walking it along.
German Shepherd. Shepherd.
Well, that's what. But all we know is what the guy told us. But my wife made the observation based on some of the other appearances and the way it acted. She could see it. We've seen some of these that have been confirmed wolf hybrids. Where it's half and half German Shepherd wolf or whatever like
They're
this.
typically either a quarter or an eighth.
What if it was like half? Would that be bad?
That's illegal. And
it is illegal.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Well,
and
this one wasn't ferocious,
the
but
thing
I was
about
just
wolf
like,
hybrids is that there have been no studies on rabies vaccination in them, and so legally, veterinarians, if it's more, I want to say if it's more than a quarter, are not allowed to vaccinate them for rabies.
Just by how can you tell if it's more?
Unknown. You have to get the lineage, and most
so you
people
really
who
know.
are selling these hybrids can't give you any documentation.
Would DNA testing show like what they do sometimes? It's part German Shepherd, part
maybe.
wolf
I don't
or
know
whatever.
that I trust all of the DNA testing. I trust the DNA testing for the medical issues. Like there are several that veterinarians use that tell you what breeds your dog is made up of, but also tests for genetic diseases that happen in those types of breeds. And so I trust that because that's looking at actual chromosomes and mutations in these diseases. But I've seen dogs get these genetic tests that you look at the dog and you're like, this is clearly like a Cocker Spaniel lab something, and it comes back 100% Labrador.
Yeah.
And it just
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know that I really trust those to tell us those answers.
Can you tell me though, I mean, with so many wonderful dogs to be adopted out there, and why would some guy want to have a wolf hybrid?
We call it the small man syndrome.
Okay, that's
making up for things.
Yeah. Let's take a break on that note. When we come back, the phone lines are open, 615-737-7587. A question or comment about your pets, give us a call right now. Allison Fields is a veterinarian, and she's really good at what she does. We'll be back with your calls right after this.